The giant's secret. In a small village at the foot of Misty Mountain, there lived a young boy named Jack. Jack loved listening to stories about giants, fairies, and magical places. His favorite tale was about a giant who, people said, lived high up in Misty Mountain. The villagers warned everyone to stay away, but Jack's curiosity got the best of him. One bright morning, one bright morning, Jack decided to find out if the stories were true. He packed some snacks, wore his hiking boots, and set off up the mountain. The path was steep and winding, but Jack was determined. He climbed higher and higher, past thick forests and babbling brooks, until he reached a clearing where the air felt cool and magical. In the center of the clearing stood a huge or mysterious door carved into the side of the mountain. Jack's heart raced as he tiptoed closer. He raised his hand to knock, but before he could, the door creaked open slowly, and there stood a giant. But instead of looking frightening, the giant had kind eyes and a warm smile. The giant introduced himself as Hugo. "Hello, young one," he said in a gentle voice. "What brings you up here, Jack?" A little nervous but excited, told Hugo about the stories he'd heard and admitted he wanted to see if they were true. Hugo chuckled. "Well, I do have a secret. Would you like to see it?" Jack nodded eagerly. Hugo led Jack into his enormous home, which was filled with wonders beyond imagination. Glowing crystals, floating books, and flowers that sang soft melodies. Jack's eyes widened as he took it all in. Then Hugo took Jack to his favorite place, a magical garden hidden behind the mountain. The garden was unlike anything Jack had ever seen. Giant trees with rainbow-colored leaves, a pond with shimmering water that showed visions of distant lands, and animals he had only ever dreamed about, like tiny winged foxes and talking owls. "This garden is my secret," said Hugo. "It holds the magic of Misty Mountain, and I protect it so it stays safe and peaceful. But it's also a place for friends, and now that you're here, you're welcome to visit whenever you like." Jack was overjoyed and promised to keep Hugo's secret safe. He spent the whole afternoon exploring the magical garden, listening to Hugo's stories and playing with the creatures. As the sun began to set, Jack knew it was time to head back. Hugo walked him down the mountain path, and just before they parted, he gave Jack a small crystal that glowed softly. "This will remind you of the magic we share," he said with a smile. Jack returned to the village, keeping Hugo's secret in his heart. And though he never told anyone about the giant or the magical garden, he cherished his visits to Misty Mountain and his special friendship with Hugo, Sute, and